Hello once again, Purple Eagles fans. My name is Todd Callen from the Niagara Sports Network, and we welcome you today to our women's college basketball season preview interview. Very pleased to be joined by head coach Jada Pierce. Coach, thanks so much for stopping by.
Good to see you, Todd.
Coach, let's start building off last year's successes. You went 9-9 in conference play. Overall, you had the best record for a team since the 2014-15 season. How do those successes help pave the way for future success this season?
I think it helps us a lot. Our returners, we have 8 returners, which is great, half of which did get some good playing time last year, so they know what the league is all about. I think just having that feeling of knowing that you can win games, I think will go pretty far for us. We do have a tough schedule, obviously. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think just knowing that, Maggie McIntyre, Jay Moore, Adela Gathers, Charisma Bryant, they've been kind of through the fire a little bit. They kind of know what to expect and can teach some of our younger players.
Let's talk about those 3 of those I had on my list here, Charisma Bryant, Jay Moore, and Maggie McIntyre. They did see a ton of minutes. Those will be your floor leaders this year in addition to Adela. Talk about what you need from them.
Absolutely. They're going to help us a lot. Maggie is going to run the show for us. We have a different offense this year, so we are more guard-oriented and pushing the ball up the floor. So Jay Moore is going to get a lot of touches. We're expecting her to really have a breakout year. Last year was good for her, but we know she's capable of doing a lot more.
Now, you talk about the experience. You've also got 6 freshmen coming in. Talk about those newcomers. Give you the floor a little bit. If you have some, 2, 3, or more that you want to identify, who are they and what have they added to the program?
Maddie Yell's done a great job for us so far. She's gotten a lot better since June. She's a 2-time state champion out of the state of Illinois. I think at the guard spot, she's really going to help us out on both ends of the floor. Jordan Edwards is going to back up Maggie. I think she's going to be an electric player that all of our fans are going to really enjoy watching. She gets down the floor, she pushes that ball in a hurry, and she's going to lock down defend. I think that's really her strong suit at this point, but we really feel she's going to help us with the up-tempo offense. From the forward position, Valentina Pepic has shown some flashes. I think she's going to be a really good player for us. Still a lot to learn, but Olivia Mason has really stood out in a forward position. Her rebounding ability is unbelievable. I think we're going to need a lot of help on the boards, and I think she's going to do a really good job for us there.
Now, Coach, you've had a couple of scrimmages already. Thinking back to those games, talk a little bit about some of your takeaways. 2 things, really. Identifying new leaders on the floor, and then also the freshmen. Any feedback from those freshmen related to the speed of the play, the size of the opposition? Talk about the scrimmages.
I think our first scrimmage, we were kind of on our heels a bit.
Okay.
I don't think the freshmen were ready for what it was. The older players played very well in our first scrimmage, but I think everyone overall took a step forward in our second scrimmage. So I think that we're ready for Tuesday. It's coming quick, but I think the competitiveness is going to really outshine, a lot of the deficiencies we may have early on.
Tuesday is the opener, taking on St. Bonaventure here on campus at the Gallagher Center. You mentioned the schedule. Talk a little bit about some of the highlights of your schedule and how pleased you are at how it came out.
Yeah, we've got our local rivals, St. Bonaventure and Buffalo. Obviously, is a great team. Went to the Sweet 16 last year, and we were able to beat them here at the Gallagher Center. Iowa State's going to pose a challenge for us, Big 12 opponent in the preseason WNIT. I think for us, getting an invite to a tournament like that shows a real improvement with our program and the way we're headed. So we're not sure after that who we play, but we do have Buffalo kind of smushed in there. We're going to challenge ourselves again with an Atlantic 10 opponent with St. Joe's. So it'll be nice to play in front of my family and friends, and some of our players that are from the area will get to have their family and friends see them play at St. Joe's. Syracuse is on the schedule again, and we challenge ourselves with West Virginia too. So I think, we've got some other teams in there. Howard University, we haven't played them before, Coppin State. Teams that are really good out of the MEAC, so I think it's going to give us a good mix to get ready for the MAC play.
Now, a season ago, statistically, not just the 9-9 record, but a lot of offensive and defensive categories, you guys were in the top 5. You led the conference in free throw shooting percentage. Those are just numbers, but how can those numbers help you guys think that this can be another positive season for you?
I think the difference with the offense, I think we averaged a lot of points last year and we pushed it, but this is actually our main thing. So I think for us, having that mindset of scoring quickly and early and often is going to be an advantage for us. Free throw shooting, we put a real emphasis on that. We're getting better. I think our younger players are, get a little nervous sometimes getting to the line when we're even at practice. But I think once game time rolls around, I know McIntyre's good, I know Moore is good, and I know Adela Gathers will knock them down from the free throw line.
Preseason rankings have come out. Once again, your team is picked 9th in the conference. That was where the preseason pick last year, and you proved the conference wrong, going 9-9 and having the number 6 seed in the tournament. What do you do with this year's rankings? Does it help, again, fuel your team?
I don't think we really worry about what other people think of us. We know what we have in the locker room. We focus on getting better every day. That's kind of our main thing. It's not about, you know, the end outcomes. We know what we want to do. We know what we're going to be able to accomplish if we just get better every single day.
Last thing for you, Coach, before we let you go, you mentioned the big win over UB. I thought 2 signature wins for your program last year. You beat Louisiana Tech in November, and then you really handled the Sweet 16 bound UB team. Talk about what kind of belief that can put in your players and your coaches in the program to take down some powers like that as you look into this season.
I think right now our players are really on a high, and they feel like if they put the work in that we can beat anyone that we play against. And I think that's huge. I don't know if we really had that mindset 2 years ago, but I do think that once you beat historic programs like that, or you beat your rival who then you see go on to play on a national stage, why can't you feel that you're the one, like you can beat people on any given night?
I thought of one other thing I wanted to ask you. You enter your 4th season here with the head of the program at Niagara University. How have you changed? And specifically, I think last year when you had the Victoria and Kaylee and Jamie, they could probably finish your sentences. This year, looking for that leadership. Talk about any differences as you head into the campaign.
It's really different. It's weird being in the locker room now and not seeing them in there, but I feel like, you know, we do have a comfort level with Maggie, with Jay, with Adila, and with Charisma. You know, Diney was having a breakout year before she had the injury, Diney David's daughter, so I know that she's really chomping at the bit. She's more than excited to get back, so I think for us, they have a real sense of who I am and what I'm asking for, and they're almost at the point now where they're finishing my sentences.
Yeah, we're getting excited for it too, Coach. Thanks so much for the time. We wish you luck, and of course we'll catch up with you during the season.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it.
Fans, don't forget, the season opens on Tuesday night, November 6th at the Gallagher Center, 7 p.m. tip, taking on St. Bonaventure, and you're reminded to keep it locked in at purpleeagles.com for all the schedules, scores, highlights, and game day information on the women's team here at Niagara University. From the Niagara Sports Network and for Coach Jada Pierce, my name is Todd Callen. Have a great day, everyone.